Hello and welcome to this video where I'm just going to be recapping how we simplify indices. Now first of all, just to make sure we are clear on the language that I'm going to be using, here a to the power of 5, 5 is my index and a is my base. So a lot of this is actually quite straightforward, especially if you remember how it works. First of all, I just want to explain what is x to the power of 5. So x to the power of 5 means we are doing x times by x times by x times by x times by x. So I have 5 x's multiplied by each other. Here, indices are a shortened way of showing something that's been multiplied by itself a certain number of times. The indice tells you how many times. So x to the power of 5 times by x squared, that means, well, x to the power of 5 is x times x times x times x times x. So I've got 5 x's here, and I'm multiplying that also then by another 2 x's. So, how many x's is that altogether? I've got 7 x's multiplied altogether. And you can see a quite quick way of working this out is, well, I've got 5 x's multiplied by each other times by another 2 x's multiplied by each other. If I just count these together, that's x to the power of 7. So here, 7 m's multiplied by each other, multiplied by 4 m's multiplied by each other. Well, I'm going to have 11 m's multiplied by each other. Now, this one looks a little bit trickier because I don't have an indice written here. But t by itself just means, well, it's just 1. It's just 1 t there, which is t to the power of 1. So t to the power of 6 times by t to the power of 1, well, I'm going to have 7 t's altogether. So t to the power of 7. Now, where people find this a little bit more difficult is when there are coefficients. That's another word I should have included in the beginning. Too late to go back now. Here, coefficients are the numbers written in front. Coefficient, I shouldn't talk and spell at the same time. Here, coefficients are numbers written in front of a variable that is being multiplied by it. So this is 3 times by x to the power of 5 times by 4 times by x to the power of 2. Well, we know what x to the power of 5 is. That's 5x's all written together. So I've got 5x's all written together, and that's also being multiplied by 3. And then this is, well, 2x's multiplied by each other, also being multiplied by 4. So here I've got my 7 x's all multiplied by each other. So x to the power of 5 times by x to the power of 2 is still x to the power of 7. But I've also got 3 times 4, and that is 12. Now, I'm sure you can see the really common mistake people would make here. I've added these two indices together, but I am multiplying. I'm doing x to the power of 5 times by x to the power of 2, which is x to the power of 7. And here, 3 times by 4 is 12. So even though I'm adding the indices, that's just a quick way of working out how to multiply everything together. I am still multiplying. So here, 2 times m to the power of 7 multiplied by 5 times m to the power of 4 is going to be, well, 2 times 5 is 10. M to the power of 7 times by m to the power of 4 is m to the power of 11. Here, 10 t to the power of 6 times by 8t is going to be, well, 10 times by 8 is 80. T to the power of 6 times by t is still t to the power of 7. Brilliant. So, what does it look like if I'm dividing? Well, first of all, I just want you to remember here, x divided by x, well, something divided by itself is just 1. So, x to the power of 5 divided by x squared. Well, that means I've got 5x is on top, and I can't be bothered to write the time symbol, divided by 2x's on the bottom. Well, x divided by x is just 1, so I can just cancel those out because it means exactly the same thing. And I can cancel these ones out, because again, that just makes 1. And that means that I'm left with 3 x's. I'm left with x cubed. And again, you've probably seen a nice quick way that I can do this. 5 take away 2 is 3. Here, this means the exact same thing. This is division, this is division. M to the power of 6 divided by m to the power of 2. It's going to be m to the power of 4. 2 of these are going to cancel out 2 of these, and we're left with 4. 6 take away 2 is 4. Again, here, if there isn't an indice written, remember that just means b to the power of 1. There's 1 lot of b there multiplied by itself. B to the power of 7 divided by b to the power of 1. So it's going to be b to the power of 6. Now again, coefficients. This is where we need to be very careful. So here, 20 divided by 4, well, that is 5. X to the power of 5 divided by x squared is x cubed. I have taken away the indices, but I am dividing. That's just the process in which I divide. 20 divided by 4 is 5. X power 5 divided by x squared is x cubed. Here, again, 12 divided by 3 is 4. M to the power of 6 divided by m squared is going to be m to the power of 4. I am dividing. The way that we divide with indices is by taking them away. 15 divided by 5 here is going to be 3. B to the power of 7 divided by b to the power of 1 is b to the power of 6. Again, got to be really careful with those coefficients. Now, indices, where we've got indices in a bracket. Now, remember, x squared just means times by itself, x times by x. So I've got x cubed squared. Really, that just means x cubed times by x cubed. And we know how to work that out. That's just going to be x power of 6. I've got 2 lots of 3 there. 2 lots of 3 is 6. We multiply these two, it's going to give me the answer. So if I've got m to the power of 5 times by m to the power of 5 times by m to the power of 5 times by m to the power of 5, I've got 4 lots of 5 there. That's going to be m to the power of 20. Now, looks a little bit trickier. I've got 2 different coefficients. It's exactly the same thing again. I've got here a squared times a squared times a squared times a squared times a squared. I've got 5 lots of 2 there. I'm going to have 10 a's multiplied by each other. I've got 5 lots of b cubed. I'm going to have b to the power of 15. Here, I'm still just multiplying those indices. Here, x squared cubed is going to be x to the power of 6. Then here, y, remember if it doesn't have a number there, it just means 1, that's y to the power of 1, cubed is just going to be 3. 2 times 3 is 6, 1 times 3 is 3. Now again, coefficients, this is where people mess up. We've got to be very, very careful. 7x cubed squared. So that means 7x cubed multiplied by itself. So 7 times 7 is 49 x to the power of 6. So here we are squaring. We've multiplied these indices, but that's the process that we square. We are squaring. So we do still square that 7. So 7 squared is 49. X cubed squared is x to the power of 6. So here, 2 times 2 times 2, 2 cubed is 8. M to the power of 5 cubed, m to the power of 15. Here, again, coefficient. I am doing that to the power of 5. Why did I pick the power of 5? What an awful question for me to have picked. I just copied it over from the side. I'm going to change that to a 2. I can't do 9 to the power of 5 in my head. Here, 9 squared is 81. A squared squared is going to be a to the power of 4. B cubed squared is going to be b to the power of 6. I'm multiplying the indices, but that is squaring. 9 squared is 81. This is a little bit more realistic. Here, 10 cubed, 10 times 10 times 10 is 1,000. X to the power of 6. Y to the power of 3. Okay, main thing that you need to be very, very careful with is coefficients. Okay, what we do with the indices is not the same as what we do with the coefficients. We do the real thing with the coefficients. I want you to pause the video now. I want you to try this yourself quickly on a piece of paper, and then I'm going to show the answers in 3, 2, hopefully you've paused, 1. Thank you.